I'm going to do a brief wrap up as this, violence prevention discussion is the anchor to the virtual part of ABC's conference. Again, the theme being empowerment, equity, and accountability, the journey ahead. We're so grateful to all of the panelists last week and today, our moderators who volunteered their time because they feel that the issues that we have addressed, the issues being health disparities, the issue of empowering young people, the issue of DEI, the issue of closing the racial wealth gap, and certainly the issue we just dealt with in violence prevention. None of this work is over. We have a lot of work to do. So by way of recap, just me taking notes from last week and today, I just want to mention a couple things. The mood, if you will, for me, and it's been repeated last week and this week, was set by Sharita Bullock. In asking that question, as the Maasai would put it, Kiserian Ingera, how are the children? We've heard over and over again since last week that there's a strong need for the village, a functional village, not just a village that's space, but a functional village where, as that African proverb said, a child who's not embraced by it will burn it down to feel its warmth. We need the village back. We know how the village is supposed to function. On the topic of DEI, we were cautioned not to isolate BIPOC professionals who are most likely to have those jobs, not to isolate them to do DEI work all by themselves. It's everyone's job. So we all need to be mindful of the CDO, the Chief Diversity Officer, for show. And certainly the need to add the letter J for justice to DEI work. Diversity, equity, inclusion, girded by justice. Again, consistent with our theme, there should be an accountability metric in order to eliminate health and any other disparities. There should be accountability. How is the community going to know that these efforts are working? There can be no quality without equity. That was Dr. Kyler. There can be no quality without equity. We've heard it this afternoon that mentoring, Kathy Thomas, we hear you, mentoring. And we also heard it from Asamara, the Nazareth student who spoke with us last week about pouring positive affirmations into our young people. Positive affirmations are is a very empowering tool for our young people. Relationships are the bedrock of good health. Family health, community health, and thus Rochester health. We need all of us to get into deep, deep relationships so that when it gets difficult, our fallback position is the quality of the relationships that we would have established. All of us have work to do there. This morning, we talked about closing the racial wealth gap, greenlining, and the fact that that will require deliberate action by lenders, non-lenders, the insurance company, the appraisal company, brokers, the legal institution, and also our municipalities. Everyone who's interested in closing the racial wealth gap has a role to play. Closing this gap cannot be race or place neutral. Let me repeat that. Closing the racial wealth gap is going to require effort that is not race nor place neutral. We have to give the phone back. Harm was done. We know which segments of the community require the #1 draft pick. We have to make sure that the resources are allocated in a way that's going to lead to equity. The community response to violence, or as a matter of fact, to prevent violence from happening, should be co-designed by community members and be culturally relevant as well as responsive. The journey is indeed ahead. None of us who care about this community are pleased with the type of year we had in 2022 with respect to violence. And Dr. Urshard said some really, really important things that I know I'm going to be pondering, and I already told them that we're going to have to further deepen our commitment to collaboration, and yes, with evidence-based research and evaluation. It's truly an honor to sit in the position that I do with respect to being president and CEO of ABC. We have an amazing staff, an active board, and I'm grateful for their support in having this conference happen. We had a very, very, very strong conference planning team. And you know who you are. I'm not going to start calling names now because we're bumping up on 4 o'clock. But all of them will be at our awards breakfast next week. There's still time to get tickets for award breakfast. Again, that's happening at the Memorial Art Gallery at 8 a.m. next Thursday. You can get tickets at our website at abcinfo.org. They're only $40. abcinfo.org for tickets to our awards breakfast. We have some amazing community assets that we want to show some love to for the work that they have been doing, literally to take action to make a better community. And finally, we want to thank our sponsors for leaning in and putting their money where their mouth is to help fund ABC's social justice efforts. We are deeply indebted to all of you. And this closes. With that, we'd like to close the virtual portion of ABC's Signature Conference. We're looking forward to seeing you again next Thursday morning at the Memorial Art Gallery for our awards breakfast. Peace, and have a wonderful afternoon. Thank you very much.